Just testing out my new garden bed. In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this garden bed with all the steps from building it to planting it. My inspiration for this project was a house nearby with a bunch of these unique bed frame garden beds. Once I saw them, I knew I had to try to make my own. Luckily for me, there happened to be a twin-sized bed frame in my grandfather's cellar. So there's the frame, and then I've got the two things to go along it to connect it with. I brought the bed frame to the backyard to do a mock-up of the raised garden bed and see if it looked as good as I imagined. Fortunately, my cool Aunt Terry was visiting to oversee my work and give me some feedback. Okay, Terry, so I put this thing together as a rough draft. Originally, I was gonna paint it white, but I agree with you to just kind of keep it the same color. Is that your vibe?
Yeah.
And then this was my original plan, you know, for the old fence board here. You made a good point that it doesn't really go with the new fence board beds, right?
Yeah, is this the same board?
It's not quite the same board. It's a different fence I found in an alley, but it's similar.
Yeah. Put sections and it'll be the same look. Yeah, that would be better.
Okay.
Actually, I think that would look really good.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. And then we'll spin this thing around because when I come from, most people, they're gonna come from this backside, right? When they come into the yard.
Yeah, and anyway, it sort of gives a screen between your other cactus area. You know, it's like a thing you look through. Yeah, that's gonna be really great, actually.
Sit down, do a little measuring. It's measuring out to 76.5. So the boards along here are gonna be 76.5. And after I put those boards in with a support 2x4, I will figure out how long I need the ends to be. I measured and cut the fence boards to create the staggered look that Terry had suggested. Once the boards were cut, I screwed them to some 2x4s for support. Okay, so I've got the front board in here. And one thing that I miscalculated and had to fix is that there had to be a little gap here. And the reason why is this part went down so the board wouldn't go any farther under there, which is no big deal. A lot of people, when they do these beds, and if you do them, usually don't have this support piece. They build the garden bed and then put these on the outside. I actually made a video of just making a regular fence board garden bed. I like this. I think it's gonna be nice and supported. Putting the bed together ended up being a little more challenging than I thought it would be. I think I did that right. I hope so. Right, hammer. All right, it's time to screw this box together. I hope that it passes the ant test, and if it does, I'm gonna fill it up. Now, all I needed was my grandfather's approval. Since I help him out, I'm able to do fun, creative gardening projects in his backyard, but they gotta look good. Do you like it, Grandpa?
Yeah.
I used the old twin bed frame that used to be in the guest room, the office. Do you think that's a good use for it?
Yeah.
All right, nice. Terry?
I think it's going to be really nice.
The next morning, I filled the garden bed with soil before heading to work. I recently had a bulk delivery of planters mixed soil to fill a few new raised garden beds I had built out of used fence boards. This dog does not like me. My original plan was to plant this bed to replicate a real bed, right? So I'd have sheets, even pillows, different plants to represent that. But with what I had available that I started from seed, like these tomatoes and these flowers that I bought from high school plant sales, I just didn't really have enough to make it happen. I planted a strip of Busy Lizzie plants in the front of the garden bed. And by the way, such a cool name for a plant. In the back and along the sides of the planter box, I went with French Marigolds. Marigolds are great at repelling pests. And the hedge along the backside of this garden bed is a great home for many different types of pests. I went with a combination of colorful tomato plants to fill in the middle of the bed. I planted a Cherokee Purple, yellow pear, green zebra, and a classic beefsteak tomato. You might be thinking, Garrett, these plants are too close together. And you wouldn't be wrong, but I'm gonna do a couple things. One, I'm gonna be really on the pruning of my tomatoes because these are vine tomatoes. So they're gonna grow up vines and out of the way so that I can run the watermelons all along the bottom through the bed, still gonna get plenty of sunlight. And these flowers are gonna get big. I'm gonna give all of these plants some organic plant food to also try to help out because again, these are gonna be close together, the roots are gonna be competing, so I'm gonna make sure that I give them all the food and care that they need to still give me an awesome harvest. This bed frame garden bed turned out great. I'm really happy with the results. It's gonna be a really cool addition to my garden. And yeah, Andy likes it too, don't you, bud? You like the garden bed? You're not gonna jump up in there, right? You know, Andy could sleep in my bed, but not this one. I'm extremely happy with how this bed frame garden bed turned out. In fact, it looks better than I expected. I'm going to be doing a lot more fun, creative projects coming up soon, so stay tuned and thank you for watching.